Today we're going to look at section 10.4, polygons, perimeter, and circumference. The polygon is a closed two-dimensional shape classified by the number of straight line sides. So we start with a triangle, 3 sides, quadrilateral, 4 sides, pentagon, 5 sides, hexagon, 6 sides, heptagon, 7 sides, octagon, 8 sides. If all the sides of a polygon have equal lengths, and all the angles are equal, they are called regular polygons. Now, however, any shape with sides that are line segments then classifies a polygon. So while there are variations of all polygons, quadrilaterals contain an additional set of figures classified by angles and whether there are one or more pairs of parallel sides. So talking strictly about quadrilaterals. We have a trapezoid, which has one set of parallel lines. We have a parallelogram, which has 2 sets of parallel lines and no right triangles. We have a rectangle, which is a parallelogram with 4 right angles and 2 sets of parallel sides. A sphere is a rectangle with 4 equal sides, and a rhombus is a parallelogram with all sides equal and 2 sets of parallel sides. So let's identify our shapes here. This is a rectangle, 5 sides, pentagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides, heptagon, and parallelogram. Opposite sides are parallel. So what polygons make up the figure? Well, let's see. We have a bunch of triangles. So let's look at them. Triangles. 1 is a triangle. 2 is a triangle. 4 is a triangle. And 6 is a triangle. Okay. Then I have a pentagon here. Pentagon is number 3. Here I have a parallelogram. It's 5. And here I have a rectangle. 7. So that brings us to perimeter. The perimeter refers to the outside measurements of some area or region given in linear units. For example, to find how much fencing you would need to enclose your backyard, you will need the perimeter. General definition of perimeter is the sum of the lengths of the sides of an enclosed region. For some geometric shapes, such as rectangles and circles, we have formulas. For other shapes, it's a matter of just adding up the side lengths. So a rectangle is defined as part of a group known as quadrilaterals, or shapes with 4 sides. A rectangle has 2 sets of parallel sides with 4 angles, 4 right angles. To find the perimeter of a to find the perimeter of a rectangle, we use the following formula. Perimeter P of a rectangle is P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W, twice the length L plus twice the length width W. Find the perimeter of a square table that measures 30 inches across from one side to the other. It's a square. That means all 4 sides are 30 inches. So the length is 30 inches, the width is 30 inches. So to use our formula here, we have 2 times the length, which is 30, plus 2 times the width, which is also 30. 60 plus 60, which is 120 inches. Find the perimeter of a regular heptagon. with a side length of 3.2. So it's a heptagon. That means there's 7 sides, and each of them is regular, so all the sides are the same. And we just simply multiply out, and we should get 22.4 inches. Let me double check that on my calculator. 7 times 3.2. Yes, 22.4. Okay, next thing we're going to talk about is to find the sum of the measurements of interior angles of a regular polygon. We have a formula. And this is simply the sum is equal to n, which is the number of sides, minus 2 times 180 degrees. And here it is again. So find the measure of each interior angle of a regular polygon and then find the sum of the interior. Don't have it. So let's go back here. Right. So what do I have here? Find the sum of the measures of the interior angles and then find the measure of each interior angle. Well, I have 4 sides. So what was the formula? N minus 2 times 180. It's n minus 2 times 180 degrees. 2 times 180, which is 360 degrees. So now I take 151 minus 6 times x minus 5x plus 1 plus 120 plus x equals 360. 300, doesn't like me. 360. So let's see. 151 minus 6x minus 5x minus 1 plus 120 plus x equals 360 minus 6x minus 5x, it's 11 plus 1, so that's minus 10x. 151 minus 1 is 150. We're going to subtract it on both sides, and I get negative 10x equals 210. So x equals negative 21 degrees. So this 6x equals negative 6 times negative 21, which is positive 126. 126 degrees. 120 plus x equals 120 minus 21, which is 99. 99 degrees. And then we have negative of negative 21, oops, 5 times negative 21 plus 1, which is a negative of negative 105 plus 1, which would be 104. This would be 104 degrees. Let's add them up and see what we get. 151 plus 126, 104 plus 99, and we get too much by quite a bit. So let's start again. See where we messed up. All right. So again, n equals 4. There's 4 sides. So S equals 4 minus 2 times 180, which is 360. So far, so good. Now, what do we have here? We have 151 plus negative 6x plus 120 plus x plus negative 5x plus 1. So this becomes 151 equals 360, sorry. This becomes minus 6x plus, there's where we messed up, 120 plus x minus 5x minus 1 equals 360. I think we missed that last time. So I have 271, which I'm going to subtract from here. It should give me 89. Oh, wait, 270. 151 plus 120 is 271 minus 1. So this is just going to be 90. Negative 6x plus x, negative 5 minus 5x, negative 10x. So x equals negative 9. That makes a big difference. So this is negative 6 times negative 9, which is 54 degrees. 54 degrees. This is 120 plus negative 9, which is 111. 111 degrees. And then we have the negative of 5 times negative 9 plus 1 is a negative of negative 45 plus 1, which is 44. Now let's check again and see if this adds up. 151 plus 54 plus 111 plus 44, and that gives me 360. So we are good. An exterior angle of a regular polygon is an angle formed by extending a side length beyond the closed figure. The measure of an exterior angle of a regular polygon with insides is found using the following formula. Find the measure of an exterior angle of a regular polygon with insides. We use the formula B equals 360 over N. To find the sum of the measure of the exterior angles in the figure shown. So we need to know the number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So B equals 360 divided by 7. .51, and we'll go 0.43 degrees. And that's all it asks. That brings us to circles and circumference, which is the perimeter of a circle, which is what it says here. The perimeter of a circle is called the circumference. To find the circumference, we use the formula C equals pi times D, where D is the diameter, the distance across the center. Or we can use C equals 2 pi r squared, or 2 pi r, where r is the radius. The circumference of a circle is found using the formula C equals pi d, where d is the diameter, C equals 2 pi r, where r is the radius. To find the circumference of a circle with radius 2.25 centimeters, C equals 2 times pi times 2.25. So we're looking at 4.5 times pi. 4.5 times pi equals. And we get 14.14 square centimeters. Find the radius of the circle with a circumference 15.71. So remember, this is our formula. We're looking for radius, but I know the circumference is 15.71. This equals 2 pi r. So I take 15.71, divide it by 2, and divide that by pi. So I get r equals 15.71 divided by 2 pi, which gives me 2.50 centimeters to 2 decimal places. All right, to make a trim for a window in the figure shown, you need the perimeter. How many feet of trim do we need? Well, we start off, we take this and we cut it there at this point here, which is 5.3 feet. And then 2 feet here. So the rectangular portion of this is, well, we're going to have 5.3 here, 5.3 here, and 2 feet there. So we can simply not bother with the formula. Add, not multiply. That gives me 12.6. We don't need this part here because that's not trimmed. Now what I have here is half a circle with a diameter of 2. So remember, the circumference of the circle is pi times the diameter. And we're looking at diameter of 2. But I want half of that. So I just want pi, which rounds to roughly 3.14. So then I take my 12.6 for the rectangle part plus my 3.14, and I get 15.74 feet. And that finishes up section 10.4.